Hey guys, it's Missy Wolf, and I'm here with the Iceman. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Missy. How are you today?
I am doing well. I am so excited to actually be talking to you because I've been watching you on Twitter for such a long time, and I've seen, people like the Mercy Stone Girls and everybody. You're promoting all of these amazing independent artists, country artists, and I want to know more about that. What got you started?
Well, I tell you, Missy, radio's always been something that I've loved. It's been a passion of mine since I was about 10 years old. 20 years ago. No, I'm over it now. I'm sorry. But no, ever since I was a young kid, hockey and radio has been the two loves. And I've always had a quick wit. And I went to school in the mid-'80s for radio and won all kinds of awards and did well. But we know life takes a turn. Life takes changes, and you got to follow, life's path sometimes. So
right.
I wound up getting into technology and finance, financial planning. And what happened was that it's weird because I've always had it inside me to be into radio.
Right.
And, it never left me. And what happened was a couple of years, about 3-4 years ago, it finally got the best of me where I said, why can't I do this? The age of technology and internet radio is making things happen where I don't have to put a 50,000 watt antenna in my backyard with money I don't have. So I decided to start an internet radio station, and I loved all kinds of music. So what I was doing was I went onto one of these radio platforms that were available, and I started my own station. I knew nothing about it, and I was doing 7 different shows a week. One day it was classic rock, and one day it was country, and one day it was Sinatra. I was loving it, and I had one listener, man. It was my mother. She was the only one listening to me. No one was listening to me, man. It was like I was doing the show with a headset from a cell phone and a microphone, man. I was having a lot of fun. And even though she was one of my only listeners, I made it like I was broadcasting to the world.
Right.
And it just started taking off. I mean, people heard my personality, and everybody's like, you remind me, you sound like Wolfman Jack. And I'm like, I never saw that.
Right.
But I just I knew I was doing what I loved. And never thought it would be more than a hobby until it started going. And then I'm like, man, we got something special. After about doing a year of the radio with every different format, I was approached by a smaller internet station that they said, we want the Iceman here. And I said, yeah, really? That's cool. I mean, what do we do? I mean, I knew they weren't Cumulus or Killer Channel. They go, well, we do new country artists. And it piqued my interest. I said, well, you know what? Let me do a little research and find out about these new country artists. Because it's weird because country wasn't my biggest thing. I mean, classic rock was. So I researched, Missy, on new country artists. And as I was doing that, I found out that there were so many great songs and artists that you never heard of.
Right.
And the genre was just, and I'm like, wow, this is a niche. I can definitely make a show or station out of new country because there are so many great artists out there that aren't getting a break, but their music's phenomenal.
Right.
So I went over to this small internet station, and it only lasted about a month because what happened was I took off. Man, I became the face of that station in a couple of weeks because people weren't used to hearing a guy that sounded like Wolfman Jack and Joe Pesci from up north doing country, and it worked. So I lasted about a month there, and it didn't work out, and we go our own way, and I decided to start my own station. And I remember the first show that I did, I had 3 hours and 20 minutes of music for a 3-hour show. And now I get hundreds of emails a week with music. My library is in the thousands and growing every day. But when I went off on my own, that's when it took off. So in a way, I got to thank that other station for being the way they were and it not working out because it just catapulted me and it took off. But my heart and soul is if I can do what I love and wanted to do all my life and help these people and let them, have a platform to be heard.
Right.
That would be my goal. If I could become the personality, because you know how it is in
Yes.
radio. What I had to do was become a larger-than-life personality, because that would create the platform to help the artist.
Right.
And to see what we are doing and what we've accomplished in only a few short years is phenomenal. But that's the story of how this whole thing came to light, man. And every day I count my blessings because I get to do what I do. And we're making a difference, and we're just getting bigger every day.
Absolutely. And I think it's incredible, too, that, for CMA Fest, some of these new artists, have to pay to play to be there. And it's so, to me, that's just, it's so criminal to do that.
You just hit a nerve with me, man.
I know.
You just hit a nerve. And I'm
going
to I'll tell you that story. What happened was a few years ago, I was asked to host an event in Nashville during CMA Fest. And I was naive to the whole scene, and never been to CMA Fest. And I said, hey, yeah, you want the Iceman to come down and host this showcase in the Valley near Opryland? I love it. Thank you. But when I got there, it was disappointment because this thing was in the middle of Opryland, which was about 25 minutes from Broadway downtown.
Right.
And these artists, I found out, paid $500 to $1,000 to come and play. And there was no one there. I mean, the artist was bringing in their families and coming from all over, but there was not a fan there. And they were setting up merch tables. And I'm like, these poor people, they come to this event that, because I'll tell you, the music industry, I love the music industry. I love Nashville, but I don't like some of the people that prey on the artist.
Right.
And okay, yeah, you pay $1,000 and come play during CMA Fest. The artist thinks, wow, this is cool. And then when they show up and there's no one there, that just upset me. So what I did was I swore that, you know what, next year I'm going to do my own CMA showcase during CMA Fest in Nashville. And I'm going to put it together. So what I did was last year, we had 100 artists come down to play in Nashville during CMA. I had several different showcase venues.
Right.
For nothing. I'm not making money off them. I'm not charging them.
Right.
And it was fantastic to see the look on these people's faces that, hey, I can come down and play during CMA. It's so cool. I don't have to pay.
Right.
I just got to get there. And we had 100 artists come together, and we created a family. My friend Cowboy Troy talks about the music mafia in Nashville where, they created a family and everybody had everybody's back. Well, we're doing that.
Yeah.
And everybody started collaborating, and it was so much fun and the excitement. So, I had to come back and do it again this year. This year's even going to be bigger. We have a brand new event. We're going to, but to see these artists, when you announce that, you chose them to come down and play, to see the look on their face and their posts on Facebook is so humbling.
Right.
Because I'm helping people, do their dream, and no, I'm not going to charge. And the sad part is I had a venue that I was going to use that I used last year, and they told me we were all set. And then after 3 different conversations, they came back to me a week ago and said, well, if you want the artist to come down, they're going to have to pay $300 to play this venue that I told you they'd play at nothing for. And I can't say because we're recording this, I can't tell you the words I use, but you can imagine.
Right. Well, especially because you got some Italian in you.
Yeah, you know that. You know what it is, man. And but it's all about helping these people. I won't sell them out. I'm never going to be a mainstream DJ. I'm going to help the new artists. And we Nashville can't ignore what we're doing.
Exactly.
And it's only going to get bigger as I bring on management and people that can move me forward.
Right.
The bigger I get, the bigger they get. And that's what's cool about it. I'm giving hope to people that deserve it.
So James Michael Miller, I want to know more about this artist who seems so deserving. What is going on with him?
I'll tell you what, James Michael Miller, I met him and his wife, Sherry, a while ago in Nashville. Mm-hmm. Great people, man. And it's funny, I got to tell a little story because they'll appreciate this when they listen.
Okay.
James Michael Miller was an artist that I remember him sending me some music. And as much as I help and want to help the artist, I got to make sure what separated me is I'm playing, the best, the artist that like if my mother made a song with George Strait and I didn't like it, I'd say, Ma, I love you with all my heart, but I'm not playing you.
Right.
So I'm always looking. But one day, James, he got in touch with me on Facebook and he said, Iceman, here's my music. But unfortunately, he just sent a YouTube copy of him playing outside at an event. And I let him know that. I said, oh, man, I love what you're doing, but I can't put that on the air because, we got to – but I always kept in touch with James. Right. And one day when I went to Nashville about a year and a half ago, I got to meet James and Sherry. And they went through some very hard times in life, man. I found out that they all they had was a van that they were living in. Tough times came, and we went out to eat, had a few drinks. I think it was a tequila cowboy, and then I told him, man, don't give up. Do what you believe in. Do what you're true to. Do what you love, and hard times will overcome. And they're both strong people. And what happened was. I wanted him to play at CMA. I asked him to play. I had an event at a smaller venue, and unfortunately, some things transpired and they couldn't. But what happened was through the connections that I create, which is the most important thing to me, Sherry. What happened was a good friend of mine from the Carolinas, Prevo Rogers Jr., who has a tremendous story of his own that is just amazing. He reached out to James, and James had a song called Took a Walk Down Broadway. And Prevo actually got to James because they couldn't afford to be in the studio. And he took the lyrics and remastered and put some fiddle in it. And, man, I tell you, I was so happy because I was able to put the song in the rotation. And when an artist hears their song on the radio, regardless, it's something special. It is. And it was so cool to see that happen. And I know that I believe they moved out west to Washington. But I'll never, those people are really near and dear to me, James and his wife, Sherry. And to do something special for that. Because, even if nothing ever pans out musically for them, he has a song playing with the Iceman. Right. We did some special things for him, and that's what it's about. It's above the story itself. Exactly. A lot of these artists have their own story of hardship and grief and how they got there and how they're still fighting. And this just adds to what I can do. But he's such a good guy, and I'm hoping someday that I cross their paths again because they touched me and made an impact, and it was good to be able to do the same for them.
I think that's great. And, Center Stage Magazine, we have the similar views as you. There's so much great talent out there, and these people are so deserving, but they have been going unrecognized. And it's like, we need to change that. There's a lot more, than the top 40 out there. So, we need to make a difference, and we need to help these people. I mean, and the talent, oh my gosh, the talent in some of these artists, it's just mind-blowing, We have a band in Texas called the Marcus Lindsay Band, and man, Marcus is just phenomenal.
You know it. You know it. They're on my top 40. And not to interrupt, but my friend Carrie sent me some music a couple of months ago, saying, Iceman, I got some music, I want you to hear it. It was so funny because the emails that would come over, I couldn't get the files. And they were so, let me send it again. And then they wound up sending me a CD. And I heard that CD from Marcus, and I was blown away. This is another tremendous artist that needs to be out there.
Absolutely.
And I heard One Less Fool in Amarillo.
Oh, my favorite.
Blew me away.
Right.
And that song, I'll tell you something. If radio doesn't open up to that song, it just shows the politicalness and the corporateness of it, because that song is country. And they're great guys. So you're absolutely right.
They are.
When we get to open doors to people like that deserve it, that wouldn't get heard on the big corporate radio because what the game like I do, to be able to take that music and bring it to the world where people are now hearing it,
Right.
It's amazing because you're right. People like that deserve to be heard.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, and I know great things are coming for those guys. And it's funny,
Yeah.
you were talking about Carrie. I talk to Carrie all the time too. And man, those guys are just they're the real deal. They're real, and their music is amazing. And their personalities are they're so great, and they're just so deserving. And it's like, man, you want the world to just open up and for them, because they truly are such great people, and the level of talent within their band is just stellar. I mean, Matt, the drummer, holy cow, he's like a flippin' prodigy. He's so good. They're all so good, and they mesh so well together on stage. It's pretty great. So
I'm going to give you one right now, because I normally name my CMA artists to play. I have a number of them this year. I'm going to let you break this right now. First of all, Marcus Lindsay will be, playing at my showcase. I haven't announced it yet, but yeah, I will be asking them to come down and play, in Nashville if their schedule allows.
Okay,
now,
we will be there. I will be there.
One other thing I'll break to you, because it hasn't been announced yet, is we came to an agreement on a venue in Nashville, and I can't say the name until next week, but we've come to an agreement where my showcase will be exclusive at this new venue in downtown Nashville, and we will be bringing artists down to play, and every day they gave me the whole day. So between 9 a.m. and 3 a.m., we will be having artists play for the whole 4 days.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. That's awesome.
And now I got a couple of other venues that want to use me. And then there's another great venue that does a lot of writers' rounds that want me to bring some artists in. So it's going to be bigger than last year. So those are a couple of things I'm really excited about. And, like I said, Marcus, Lindsay, it's going to be a privilege to see those artists.
Absolutely.
And to see the look on their faces when they're down there and how everybody gets together. Man, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have some fun, too. You guys are going to be there. So we'll make sure we have some fun when you're there.
Oh, definitely. We're going to have to have a lot of photo opportunities and stuff. It's going to be great. And speaking of photos, okay, I think I saw a picture of you, and I think I'm going to say it's Josh Goodlett, and you guys were both holding a bat. What is the story with that?
Josh chased me down the street with the bat because he said I wasn't playing him enough. Josh Goodlett is a young man that I've started playing and create relationships with. And what happened was, he's had songs on my top 40. He's such a great guy and an artist. And last year he came down and was one of the artists that played on my CMA events. And he brought me a bat, being from Louisville. He brought me a bat, which was an actual Louisville slugger that had the Iceman on the barrel, the name of the Iceman, and Josh Goodlett. So he had a custom bat for me, which was so awesome. Yeah,
cool.
that thing. Yeah, that was so cool when he gave it to me, because, even if an artist gives me a koozie or something or a hat, that means a lot to me, man.
Yeah.
Here's my word, and it's funny because when I go to an event or I'm somewhere, I'm in Chicago right now getting to host an event, man, people come from hours away just to see me and say hi. I can't fathom that, man. I tell them, but that's just a regular schmuck doing what I love. And they're like, no, but but I don't see it that way. I stay humble, So when somebody like Josh gives me something like that, man, it's like Christmas all over again for me.
Absolutely. I get super excited when they give me a CD, and I'm like, really? I get to keep this?
No, exactly. I get a koozie or a hat or a shirt. I'm wearing a hat now from John King and the Mud River Revival, and I got a shirt on I got Marcus's shirt on now. It's cool, man. It really is.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know. I have a little inside joke with Marcus Lindsay Band, and I'm like, I am so going to design one of their shirts to fit our little inside joke, and all I can tell you is it involves a puffer fish. So you'll have to talk to Carrie about that one.
I'm going to ask him about that. I might be talking to him today. I'm going to ask him what's up with that.
You have to because it's amazing. But yeah, no, those guys are great. Everything is amazing, and I can't wait to see you at CMA Fest. It's going to be fabulous. I just know there's going to be so many great things this year, and I'm looking forward to be a part of it too. So, man, thank you so much for all you do for these independent artists.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to interview me, man, because it means a lot, helps get the word out, and it means a lot to have that done.
Well, working together, right? I mean, we help each other, we help them, they help us. It's just like it's this great circle of, of positivity, which I think is just the world is lacking these days. And, the best way to help yourself is to help others. You know what I mean? So, and so many people are trying to just help themselves by helping themselves, and they don't realize that they need to actually help others. So I love working with people who have the same visions. And so thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And if anybody wants to know more, real easy. Just go to the IcemanShow.com. Our syndication platform is there. We're heard in 144 countries now. We're heard on AM, FM, and internet stations, and it's just blowing up. And more importantly, you can see the great affiliates that carry my show, and the artists are there. So I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you guys in Nashville a couple of months.
Absolutely. Well, you take care, and we will talk to you then.
Thank you. Take care now.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.